Our first comic is Kate Parisi. We visited Kate to get to know her better and to learn why she loves the funny so much, and this is how it went.
I'm from an area called Westchester, Ohio. It's kind of like farm area and like suburbs, and I lived on a farm that was like 40 acres. We had a horse and there were 2 beagles and like 12 cats, and they kept having kittens, so unlimited cats. I have 2 brothers, one older and one younger, and I lived with my mom and dad growing up, so 5 of us all together. They're pretty funny. They're just kind of crazy, like on the wild side. I just sat back and watched the life happen. I like to describe myself as funny. I always thought that was like a suiting thing for me, but that was like in Spanish class when they were like, describe yourself in Spanish, and be like, well, I'm funny, but I only knew how to say that. Is it like comico or muy comico?
All the way from Cincinnati, Ohio to chase her dream. This is her very first time on the stage. Give it up for Kate Parisi, everybody.
Well, here we are, finally. Longly awaited. Can you all hear me? Yes. Anyways, I'm from Cincinnati. My name's Kate. Sean covered all of that, which is good. I was wondering if anyone in this room has ever been involved in a cult before, or if it's just me. Okay, so I was in a cult once, and I'll never really understand how full-blown adults get so wrapped up in these cults for years. And they like completely lose themselves. They're wearing like pastel clothes, and they have like these really weird hairstyles. They're wearing khakis for years, but they used to be like an accountant, which is very weird. So to give you like a mental maturity level, I was 17 at the time, and the oldest member enrolling at the same time was 52 with his wife and his 3 teenage kids. So long story short, I got to thinking, and I was like, honestly, they must have been like going somewhere like an amusement park or something, and his kids were being like assholes in the back, and he was like, you know what? If you don't stop this, I'm gonna turn this van around and we're all gonna join a cult. But I mean, I was 17, so I was like, this is easy that I got enrolled in this, but you're 52, so what happened? So anyways, in this cult, I lived in Asia for a year. I lived in China and Thailand, and I was working with human trafficking. And I know what you're all thinking, was she trafficked? Sexually, no, but I was trafficked back to America because we were very annoying in the way and very unhelpful. My ultimate goal with comedy would be to do sketch comedy writing for Saturday Night Live or late night with like Jimmy Fallon or Seth Meyers, but Saturday Night Live would be like the dream. I feel like stand-up is something that I've always been interested in as well. I just think it takes a lot more bravery than doing sketch comedy writing, because you can sit behind a computer and write something all day. To perform, like stand-up for the first time, I'm terrified. I'm very anxious. At first I wasn't. I was like, this is gonna be just like a really cool opportunity, and it is like incredible. But now that it's getting closer, I'm like, what did I get myself into? But it's exciting. It's very exciting to try something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I think the key in storytelling with like stand-up is like the details. Because I can tell a story like a million times, but once I tell like the details I don't want anyone to know, then it becomes like uncomfortable and super funny. And I mean, just putting anything out there is like, I don't know, you're gonna fail and you're gonna learn and you're gonna fail and you're gonna learn. But I think just doing it would be the only way to get there. And if it's meant to be, then it'll happen, you know? I'm Kate Parisi, and I'm deliriously raw. So long story short, we'd be woken up every day at 6 a.m. for supervised like prayer and journaling. Which I thought was kind of weird because the cult leaders did the supervising, which was really weird because wasn't God supervising everything? Or I guess they had to do the work. I don't know. So we were living in this women's home where all the ex-prostitutes could go to learn skills like baking and jewelry making, which really pays the bills if you ask me, because that cannot pay anything in New York if you're baking cookies and trying to give them out. But long story short, we would group up every night and go down to these like really well-known sex trafficking streets. And we'd try to save the day wearing our Bermuda shorts, marching around. And there were like 21 of us, which was weird too, because I mean, if we're all coming at you like, you want to come home with us and bake cookies and make jewelry. So anyways, we would go down every single night and we'd try to convince the prostitutes to come back to our confine with us, bake cookies, make jewelry, and stop selling their bodies for sex. Which in retrospect, now that I'm a little bit older, I was like, I don't know, like, they must have been making a pretty good living, but whatever. So there we were, all marching around in our Bermuda shorts, trying to convince these prostitutes to use chocolate and beads in ways they never had. And we were like crosswalk guards in the sluttiest preschool ever. But we didn't end up rescuing any of them. It was just a very weird experience. So I ended up leaving the cult after a year, but a lot of people stayed. And they asked us all if we were going to stay at the end of it, and they were like, what was your favorite part? What did you love about this? And mostly, I just liked that I got to go snorkeling for free. And that was it. So now I live in New York, and I'm trying to do comedy, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. It didn't even feel real. I was like, I didn't feel like I was really there. It was good, though. I'm glad it's over.